everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started since we have guests here this morning. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Marilyn, you want to lead it?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and we have Chip Spinning and the Franklin County Children's Services, Karen Rost of the Ohio Children's Trust Fund. Would you like to tell us what's happening this
Yes,
month?
good morning.
Good morning.
My name's Chip Spenning, as you mentioned, and we'd like to thank you once again for allowing us to come talk about Child Abuse Prevention
My
Month.
pleasure.
I have with me as well Kristen Ross she's the Executive Director of the Ohio Children's Trust Fund. As you know, our mission is child protection, and our staff take that responsibility very seriously. Keeping children safe at times when families and systems are stretched can be a challenge that we face every day. The reports to our child abuse hotline have been at record highs for the last 3 years, and that's the same last year, with over 31,000 calls to our hotline. This demonstrates that there's still a need to continue our work around child abuse prevention. Children's Services fills its mandate by the support of caring adults and community partners who help us ensure the safety and well-being of our community's children. Children's Services, although we see every day children suffer from the effects of abuse and neglect, we also are lucky enough to witness the inspiring acts of those who help them overcome. And this year at our Child Abuse Prevention Breakfast, April 13th, if you're able to be there, you'll hear about those stories as well. Before you have some pinwheels, and we will be planting them throughout the community. And also on April 13th, we will be recognizing our Wear Blue to Work Day. I see a lot of blue here today, so I think that's
We
great.
planned that.
Yeah, I got the notice
you.
too. So I think that's great. If you can take pictures, post it to your social media so that we can raise awareness. And last of all, if you would suspect abuse and neglect, please call our hotline at 229-7000.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate you being here this morning, and always look forward to the pinwheels.
Good morning. Thank you, President O'Grady, Commissioner Brown, and Commissioner Brooks. Thank you for recognizing April as Child Abuse and Neglect Prevention Month. As Chip said, my name is Kristen Ross, and I'm the Director of the Ohio Children's Trust Fund. At the Ohio Children's Trust Fund, we work every day to prevent child abuse and neglect by investing in strong families, strong communities, healthy families, and safe children. This is a year-round effort, as you all know, but our favorite time of year is April, because that's when we get to get out and spread the word that all of us can make a difference when it comes to child abuse and neglect prevention. As we work together to prevent child abuse and neglect, it's important to keep a few things in mind. Number one, parenting is a hard job, and none of us are perfect parents, and we all need help. Everyone can help prevent child abuse and neglect by doing our part to protect and report. And when we say protect, that includes keeping our children safe through things such as car seats, safe sleep habits, but also includes our larger responsibility to support our families and our communities. We can do that by praising good parenting when we see it, helping a neighbor in need, or by being a supportive parent or by supporting a parent or caregiver who seems a little stressed. If you see suspected abuse or neglect, it's imperative that you report it. And one way to do so is by calling, and what in Franklin County, it's 229 7000. I was going to give you the statewide
Area
number.
code 614.
Oh, that's right. Area code
It won't work
614
without that.
7000. This number, and you can also call a statewide number, which is 855-OH-CHILD, that works anywhere, but if you were somewhere else besides Franklin County. And it's imperative that we all work to give children a happy, carefree childhood that they deserve. And you know, as Chip said, those blue and silver pinwheels are the national symbol of child abuse and neglect prevention, and they represent carefree childhood. So thank you again for the resolution and for joining us in this important mission.
Kristen, could I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
I think some people feel reluctant to pick up the phone and call because they're afraid of their name appearing or some other action against them. What would you say to those that might be watching this program later and thinking about, wow, maybe I should do something?
I would say two things, and Chip can definitely chime in. But one, you know, it can be an anonymous call, so you don't have to worry about that. But two, it's not, and I think this is important for folks to know, it's not your job to be the expert, to be the one who goes out and assesses if there is abuse or neglect. That's Chip's staff's job. And so if something just doesn't feel right, make the call. You know, nothing is bad is going to happen. If his staff are experts, when they go out and if they say, oh, there's really no cause for concern, the case is closed, and and everyone moves on. And it might even be that his staff sees there's not really a cause for removal, but there's some preventative pieces that they can offer, and Chip and his staff do a great job of offering prevention services to the families. So you would really be helping a family by calling.
And we all sitting here might be a little more informed and know that, but a lot of people out there in the public don't necessarily. So thank you for that answer.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'd like to come up and take a picture with you and
Yeah,
present you
thank
with these
you.
resolutions. You want to get a picture with everybody wearing blue, right? So if you're wearing blue.
Anybody and everybody.
Purple does not count. Blue suits count though. Blue suits count.
Come on. Anybody wearing blue? Front, okay.
Oh, wait.
Dorsey Hager back there, he's got a blue one. Come on up here.
That's okay.
Thank you very much.
How are you, Brian? If I can move the chair, it would.
Okay, well, now we have another guest this morning. Jane Federer, the Vice Chair of the Ohio Commission on Civil Service Volunteerism, is here. It is National Service Day, so welcome, Jane.
It is indeed. Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners O'Grady, Brown, and Brooks. Thank you for having us here today. Today is Mayor and County Day of Recognition for National Service. Again, I am Vice Chair of Serve Ohio, which is Ohio's Commission on Service and Volunteerism. What we do is administer federal AmeriCorps dollars in the state of Ohio, making sure that those dollars go to programs that really meet Ohio's needs. So we're working with the faith community, higher education, K through 12, nonprofit organizations who are willing to host AmeriCorps programs in their communities to make a difference in Ohio. I'm pleased to say that statewide we support over 800 AmeriCorps members, giving 1.1 million hours of service in more than 20 programs across the state. Today is a day celebrated nationally and conceived of by our federal partner, the Corporation for National and Community Service. And what we want to do with this day is not look at service at the national level or the state level, but really look at its impact at the community level, working with mayors and county officials across the state. We, in Franklin County, AmeriCorps, there are over 200 AmeriCorps members and more than 500 Senior Corps members. They are working in programs that address poverty, educational outcomes, healthcare, supporting military families and veterans, and making an impact right here in Franklin County. We are pleased with your support of today. We want to acknowledge people who give service in their communities. We want to encourage others to give service, and we want to thank you for your service to the citizens of Franklin County. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jane, thanks for everything that you and your organization do. I want to give you a resolution as well. Come up and take another picture.
We should have stayed up.
Very patriotic with your red, white, and blue. Thanks for your work. Thank you. Sorry.
All right, so then on with the agenda. If I can get a motion for the approval of the minutes of the March 10th, March 17th, 2016 briefing sessions, and the March 1st and March 8th, 2016 general session.
I'll move for the approval of those minutes.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
The minutes have been approved.
All right, to the engineer. And we have a public hearing for Norton Road, Johnstown Road, the viewing of that. Do you want to go ahead, Cornell, and brief us on that? And then if someone here would like to speak, we'll allow that as well.
That'd be fine. Cornell Robertson, representing County Engineer Dean Ringel. Commissioners, this resolution will allow the county engineer to move forward with the project, hire consultants for design, and to enter into agreements with other agencies and developers if needed for construction of the project. The project is at Norton and Johnson.
Johnson, sorry, I said Johnstown,
All
I
right.
apologize.
And
On
the-
two opposite ends of the county.
Correct, correct.
Definitely.
That's in the southwest part of the county, and we will consider a single lane roundabout at this intersection.
Great. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on this issue? Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. And then Antoine, if you could read the resolution into the record.
Resolution number 231-16, establishing, altering, and widening of Norton Road at Johnson Road, Prairie Township, Franklin County, Ohio, viewed engineer to file plans as necessary.
All right, and he has briefed it, so
Okay. Move for passage of Resolution 231-16.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
aye.
Resolution 231-16 has been adopted. Resolution 232-16, report first of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Borer Road 1.05 over Plum Run improvement, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $4,900.
Commissioners, as stated, this resolution is for the capital improvement project in the southwest part of the county. It's in Jackson Township to replace a bridge on Boer Road over Plum Run. This resolution is the first report for right-of-way acquisition. Includes 3 properties, and the appraisals were based on fair market value.
Move for passage of Resolution 232-16.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 232-16 has been adopted. Resolution 233-16, report first of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Alum Creek Drive at Toy Road and Creekside Parkway improvement, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $1,000.
This capital improvement project is in the southeast part of the county in Hamilton Township and will improve the intersection by replacing the traffic signal and building additional turn lanes. This resolution is the first report for right-of-way acquisition, includes one property, and the appraisal is based on fair market value.
Okay. Move for passage of Resolution 23316.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 233-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 234-16, report third of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Alcar Road at Darby Creek Drive Improvement Project, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $11,915.
Now back to the southwest part of the county. This capital,
Taking our tour around.
right.
Stomping grounds.
This capital improvement project is in Pleasant Township at the intersection of Alcar Road and Darby Creek Drive. This is the third report for right-of-way acquisition, includes 3 properties, and the appraisals were also based on fair market value.
Move for passage of Resolution 23416.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 234-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 235-16, resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to the Ryder Company for the Borough Road .48 over Young Ditch and .05 over Plum Run project in the amount of $731,580.
Still in the southwest part of the county, in Jackson Township. This resolution, we are recommending approval of a construction contract with the Ryder Company. On March 1st, we had a competitive bid with 5 bidders, and the Ryder Company had the lowest and best bid.
Okay, move for passage of Resolution 23516.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 235-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 236-16, preliminary allocation of county motor vehicle license tax funds to the village of Obetz in the amount of $400,000.
This resolution is a $5 fund resolution for the village of Obetz to improve Toy Road at Allen Creek Drive, and Toy Road is on the approved list for such funds.
Move for passage of Resolution 23616.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 236-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 237-16, report third of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Riggins Road Phase 4 improvement, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $48,298.95.
Now we'll move to the northwest part of the county. This capital improvement project is in Washington Township. Will extend Riggins Road from Avery Road east to Wilcox Road. This is the third report for right-of-way acquisition, includes 1 property, and was based on Federal Code of Regulations.
Okay. Move for passage of Resolution 23716.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 237-16 has been adopted.
Thank you all very
Thank you.
much.
Domestic Relations Court.
Resolution number 238-16, resolution authorizing a 1-year contract with Monique Morrow for trauma-informed care training in the amount of $20,000.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Orville
Morning.
Johns, Court Director with Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court. With me today, I have Diane. Diane Merrill, she's our Chief Probation Officer in the Probation Department. And I brought her here to ask if you have any questions when you get done, normally you would, about trauma. So this resolution is requesting a contract with Monique Morrow to provide trauma-informed care training for 20 of our employees at the detention center and for the probation department. The objectives of the training is to educate staff about the impact of trauma on the development and behavior of youth in the juvenile justice system. The funding is from a Title II Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Act block grant. Diane, would you like to talk a little bit about the trauma?
We're going to be training 14 detention staff and 6 probation staff to be trainers, so that they will be able to train the rest of the staff in both of the areas on trauma-informed care. The goal is so that we can really help our staff to identify trauma in the young people that we work with, but also to identify their own trauma so that they take care of themselves as well. This is a stressful job, and we see a lot of things, and so we have 2 goals. So they will be training the other staff.
Is this the first time you've done this kind of care and training for the staff?
This is the first time.
This is so important.
We are very excited about it. The staff is
I am
excited.
so glad
and-
you're doing this. Very
Yes.
important for
It will be.
both the kids that you're seeing as well as for the probation officers.
Yeah, I think we're all recognizing more and more how trauma affects young people and their behavior and development as they go on.
Thank you for doing this.
And we've been doing some other work through Children's Services with trauma training for their workforce as well. So this should be complementary. That's
Yes.
great. Great. Happy to move for passage of Resolution 23816.
Second,
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 238-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Resolution number 239-16, resolution authorizing a one-year contract with Southeast Incorporated for a Job Start program in the amount of $20,000.
Commissioner, I have with me Jill Jones, Program Director of Southeast Inc., and I would like her to talk a little bit about the program once I finish reading the resolution. The resolution is requesting a contract with Southeast Inc. to provide a Job Start program for youth in a detention facility. The program will provide job readiness, life skills training, and career exploration. Additionally, youth will be linked with community employment services within 2 weeks after their release from the detention center. And again, this funding is from the Title II Juvenile Justice Block Grant.
Good morning. The program that we are here to talk about is to help the kids who are in the Juvenile Detention Center, 16 to 21-year-olds, with developing skills that will help them when they are released with getting a job and maintaining a job. A lot of our kids can get jobs. They can't keep jobs very well. So that's really where we want to focus and help them develop some of those social skills and those communication skills that are so important. And then also touching on the independent living life skills types of activities that as much as we can do while they're in the facility. And then once they're released from the facility, we can help them, link them to different services in the community. Franklin County has so many community resources, and we can link them and just try to make sure that they're getting what they need so that they won't be coming back.
The keeping the job is the most important.
It really is. And the most difficult.
Yeah,
My
for
teenagers,
some
it's getting a job.
We'll send them my way. We'll help them get the job. Be more than happy
I
to.
might do that.
How many children will actually be going through this program?
The idea is that we could work with up to 50 kids.
That's great.
Right. So, and we'll work with the staff in the facility to identify those who are really ready and interested and want to engage with us. So,
And you'll involve their parents as well?
as much as we
As
can.
much as you can, understood, yeah. And we'll hear back from you, hopefully, on how it goes?
Would love to.
Great, great.
Good stuff. That was my daughter texting me, by the way. I ended my text by saying, get a job.
Good job.
But you guys do great work, and so we appreciate all you're doing for the community. Thanks.
Thanks.
Move for passage of Resolution 23916.
Second,
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 239-16 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 240-16, resolution authorizing a novation agreement with Eckerd Youth Alternatives Incorporated.
Good morning,
Hey,
Commissioners.
Lance, how are you
Thanks
this
for
morning?
order. This resolution will approve an innovation agreement for Eckerd Youth Alternatives to assume the contractual responsibilities for Ingalls and McCoy's youth after-school programming with the agency. Eckerd is a nonprofit that was founded in 1968. They provide child and family services. This past year, to over 18,000 youth. And one thing that we're very proud of here with the change is that all of the current staff that have been working with the youth under Hinkles and McCoy will transition and keep their jobs with Eckerd.
Good.
If you get any questions, we'd ask for approval of this resolution.
Okay, their Board of Trustees is based in Florida, right?
Yes.
Right, okay.
That's their home office, and they'll assume the office here that Hinkles and McCoys have. I think that's on, have it here, on 6th Street.
Okay, so those folks will be kept on with Eckerd?
Yes, they will.
Okay, great. Move for passage of Resolution 24016.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 240-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Excellent.
Lance.
Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 241-16, resolution authorizing an economic development contract agreement with the Greater Columbus Convention and Visitors Bureau to promote Franklin County as a tourism destination in the amount of $2,025,000.
Morning, Commissioners. James Schimmer, Director of Economic Development and Planning. I'm joined at the dais this morning by Jenny Snap, who is our Assistant Administrator in Planning. Commissioners, this resolution this morning is an annual contract agreement that we have with the Greater Columbus Convention and Visitors Bureau, also known as the Experience Columbus, in the amount of $2,025,000. As you know, the Bureau is dedicated to the promotion of Columbus and Franklin County. Its core mission is to create, sell, and market Columbus and Franklin County. These efforts generate over $7 billion annually in visitor-generated spending at area hotels, restaurants, attractions, shops, and transportation activities. The spending supports approximately 61,000 jobs in our community. So tourism and visitor conventions, extremely important to us. Brian Ross is here this morning. We talked this morning about the number of hotels that have just popped up here recently. But it's all because of a plan, and they have implemented that plan. And Brian, you have anything you want to talk about this morning?
Thank you. Good morning. I was just double checking. Okay. I'm actually here with representing the Greater Columbus Sports Commission as well. But first of all, I would like to thank Commissioner Brooks and Commissioner Brown for attending our 75th anniversary annual meeting celebration, and President O'Grady for participating in our celebration, as we talked about. And as you have in your little flippy foldy annual report, we had a great 2015. But we also know we have to continue to build off of that momentum. And we are looking at, as we stated, a 5-year strategic plan that will grow jobs by about 6,500 in the tourism-related field. We will also increase $1.6 billion in direct visitor spend, and also increase 2.3 million visitors into our community over the next 5 years. And that is because of investments that are being made, particularly investment that you're making in us, and we're very, very appreciative of that. And we appreciate your collaboration. I know we have NACO coming in next year. We have IFLA, the International Federal Library Association, coming in this year. Actually, Linda right now is in Indianapolis for the Women's Final Four, which will be here in 2018. And we truly believe that we are focused on one large group that can be a catalyst to a lot of this happening, and that is the American Society of Association Executives. And we are working very diligently to hopefully win the opportunity to host their annual meeting in the next couple of months. So we are moving things forward, but we would not be able to do that without your continued partnership and investment. So thank you.
Brian, this weekend, speaking of the Sports Commission, this weekend we had a cheerleading competition in town. My wife's sorority sister, along with her child, were here for the, I think, 3rd year in a row. And we had brunch with them on Sunday. She was just raving about, not just about Columbus. They're from Nashville, or suburban Nashville. Not just raving about Columbus and how much they enjoyed it, but the fact that every year when they come, there's more. So they just, now her child's a senior, so won't be doing any more cheering, or at least in this competition. Probably going to cheer in college, but won't be doing any more in this competition. But she'll be back. She comes up to visit a lot, but just loves, you know, all that you guys have been doing. So, and as well as all the things that the economic development community in Central Ohio is doing as well.
We appreciate, next time they come, let's make sure they continue to stay in the hotels.
It was an
They did. They stayed up at
interesting
Easton.
mix
Good.
this weekend because you also had the gaming
Gaming.
folks at the arena.
Yeah.
And though I wasn't around much, there were so many people walking around on Saturday, which was Gallery Hop, when
Yep.
we were coming home from OSU Med Center. It was kind of funny to see the interesting mix of people with the cheerleading folks and their families, as well as the gamers in town
Yep.
at Gallery Hop. It's always interesting, but this was particularly fun to see.
Even with a little snow and
needed a
sleet,
lap.
everybody was out, yes.
Crazy
yes.
weather
We
out
Very
there.
really
fortunate.
needed that lap, and it was great. As it's always interesting to see the mix of people coming down for conventions and meetings and visiting. It's great.
Been teasing Linda for a while, so I'm not going to let her up just because she's in Indianapolis, about bringing the National Wrestling Championships. It's a tough fit with the calendar because of all that we have going on here at the same time already with the state basketball, boys and girls basketball. So I know that that's tough, but we have two Buckeyes that are, maybe three, I think, that are going to be competing in the Olympic trials, wrestling Olympic trials. So there's a lot of different opportunities
Absolutely.
to be able to bring some stuff here. And I know that we've talked about going after some Olympic trials in the past. So.
Actually, after she leaves Indianapolis, she is heading to Colorado to speak to them about wrestling. So
Oh, good.
Great.
it's on the docket.
Fantastic. I don't think we have nearly the kind of conflicts that with the Olympic trials as we did with the national championships.
We're working on it all, that's for sure.
We
Great.
know.
Brian,
Thank you.
just a quick note, you said we're now at over 7 billion generated, and I always like to mention the money saved by our local families because of that visitors revenue. So is that local tax savings at, still at 2,100?
Just over, yeah, just about 2,100 per household in Franklin County. Overall taxes into the community total is about just over $1 billion. So it is very important to what we do, yes.
For families like ours whose kids are either going to college or grad school or whatever.
Yep.
I mean, that's real money.
It is. And it's 1 in 11 jobs approximately in Franklin County.
Right, that's great.
So
That's
Well, thank you for that, too.
we appreciate it.
We all thank you for that.
Well, it's all of us. I mean, the public-private partnerships make our destination very attractive.
We've worked very hard and strategically on
Yes.
this, so keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I'll move for passage of Resolution 241-16.
Second,
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 241-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully you all do have your
Oh,
flippy-foldy
yes.
thing, okay?
Yeah.
Flippy foldy thing. We have it.
Resolution number 242-16, resolution approving the creation of the Edna Reynoldsburg Joint Economic Development District, JED 1.
Commissioners, we have 2 JEDs on today, and I just thought I'd explain a little bit as we lead into these. A joint economic development district is an arrangement in Ohio where one or more municipalities and a township agree to work together to develop township land for commercial or industrial purposes. The benefit to the municipality, excuse me, is that they get a portion of the taxes levied in the JED without having to annex the property. The benefits to the township are that it does not lose prime development land, it can still collect property taxes, as well as a portion of the income tax, which they would not be able to do normally. And they usually will receive services from the municipality, such as water and sewer. As part of the process of establishing a JED, the parties have filed the following required documents to the clerk. These include a signed copy of the contract between the parties creating the district, a description of the district and a map sufficient delineating the district's boundaries, an economic development plan for the district, certified copies of a resolution adopted by Etna Township Board of Trustees, and an ordinance passed by Reynoldsburg City Council approving the contract. and a certificate from the fiscal officer of Etna Township and the clerk in Reynoldsburg City Council that the public hearings were held as required by the ORC and have meeting dates and times were published. Finally, a petition signed by the majority of the property owners and a majority of the owners of the businesses located in the district has been presented to the clerk. With both of these JEDs before you this morning, the JED parties have requested that the Franklin County Board of Commissioners adopt a resolution under ORC 715.77A2 that acknowledges the receipt of the documents and approving the creation of the district. The required information has in fact been presented to the clerk, and I am recommending this morning that the Commissioners approve these two resolutions.
Move for passage of Resolution 242-16.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 242-16 have been adopted. Resolution number 243-16, resolution approving the creation of the Etna Reynoldsburg Joint Economic Development District, JED number 2.
Commissioners, the same thing applies, so I would ask for your approval of this resolution this morning as well.
Move for passage of Resolution 243-16.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 243-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 244-16, review of petition to annex .1 plus or minus acres from Perry Township to the City of Worthington, case number ANX-EXP2-05-16.
Good morning, Commissioners. This resolution is to consider an expedited Type 2 annexation of .10 acres from Perry Township to the City of Worthington. The area to be annexed includes portions of Linworth Road public right-of-way located at 2168 West Dublin Granville Road and 6184 Linworth Road. That property is off of Linworth Road, just north of Dublin Granville Road. The petition was filed by agent and attorney Donald Plank of Plank Law Firm on behalf of the property owners United Dairy Farmers and Julia Kaiser. And we do have Christopher Kessler, attorney with Plank Law Firm, in attendance should you have any questions. 50% of the site's perimeter is contiguous to the City of Worthington, and the city passed ordinance number 12-2016 on March 7th, 2016, indicating the services that will be provided once the annexation is approved, and a statement regarding incompatible land uses and zoning buffer. The petition meets all statutory requirements of Ohio Revised Code Section 709.021, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
Move for passage of Resolution 244-16.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 244-16 have
Thank
been
you,
adopted.
Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Homeland Security and Justice Programs.
Resolution number 245-16, resolution authorizing non-general fund supplemental appropriations for the Title II Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Grant.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Greg Plants with Homeland Security and Justice Programs. This resolution, as you know, you've accepted the Title II Block Grant Award previously. These are the appropriations necessary to go ahead and make the sub-grants and contracts under that award.
Move for passage of Resolution 245-16.
I'll second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady. Resolution 245-16 has been adopted. Resolution number 246-16, resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for the Justice Assistance Grant Program.
This follows suit with the previous resolution that we just spoke about, the 2015 Justice Assistance Grant. You previously accepted, and these are the appropriations to award contracts.
Move for passage of Resolution 246-16.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Brown.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 246-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Human Resources.
Resolution number 247-16, resolution approving personnel actions.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rob Young, representing Human Resources. Following personnel actions this week, Department of Animal Care and Control, 2 new hires, and Department of Job and Family Services, 1 new hire and 1 temporary work level. Pending any questions, I request approval of the resolution.
Move for passage of Resolution 24716.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 247-16 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks.
Purchasing Department.
Resolution number 248-16, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $380,759.94.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Balanier, Assistant Director of the Purchasing Department. The resolution before you requests your approval of 66 purchase orders. These purchase orders have been pre-certified as to the availability of funds by the county auditor. And pending any questions, we recommend their approval.
Move for passage of Resolution 24816.
I'll second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 248-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
All right, the Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 249-16, resolution reappointing Sherry Blank Lazier Esquire to the Franklin County Public Defender Commission.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of this reappointment.
Move for passage of Resolution 24916.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 249-16 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Resolution number 250-16, resolution approving solely for the purpose of Section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, the issuance of healthcare facilities improvement and refunding revenue bonds, Series 2016, for the Otterbein Homes Obligated Group by the County of Warren, Ohio.
Good morning. I'm Diana Silvera from Dinsmore and Shoal. We're acting as bond counsel in this bond financing. This resolution gives host TEFRA approval for a bond issuance to be issued by the County of Warren, Ohio, in a principal amount not to exceed $45 million for the benefit of Otterbein Homes. The proceeds of the bonds will be used to refund bonds issued by Warren County in 2013, which bonds financed facilities here in Franklin County, and also to finance additional senior living facilities outside of Franklin County. No taxpayer dollars will be pledged or used to pay back these bonds, and they do not constitute debt or general obligations of the county. The Hospital Commission passed a resolution at its meeting on March 30th, which approved a public hospital agencies agreement as well as an indemnity agreement in connection with this financing. That resolution was passed unanimously by the Commission. A public hearing was held on March 22nd by the Board of County Commissioners of Warren County as a joint public hearing. No issues arose at that hearing, and the Warren County Commissioners passed their resolution on that date. If you have any further questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Move for passage of Resolution 25016.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 250-16 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, before we do our final resolution, Antoine, are there any journalizations?
There are not any.
All right. If you would, we'll do the last resolution.
Resolution number 251-16, resolution of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners to convene into executive session for the purpose of considering personnel matters and discussing pending or imminent court action.
I'll move to convene into executive session for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, and promotion of a public employee or official, and for the purpose of conferring with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are the subject of pending or imminent court action.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Aye.
Resolution 251-16 has been adopted.
So the Board of County Commissioners meeting for today will end at the conclusion of executive session. So thank you, everyone. I would imagine East Conference Room?
Yes.
We're in the briefing room.
Oh, the briefing room.
All right, I'm gonna.
We need to come back to adjourn.